Okay, I'm gonna wait a minute. I'm not sure why I still have David Banner's live stream going on, but I muted it because I can't say anything in there. I keep getting timed out by Music Realm. And he's like a god mod, so to speak. Since I can't say anything in there, I'm gonna just do my own live stream. I know there's probably maybe nobody's gonna join, and that's okay. But if you want to watch the video again later on, it's fine. Um, yeah. I went out yesterday to the pond that I'm gonna go to, that I'm gonna start my journey on. And when I walked around that area, I noticed. I don't know how old this kid was. He might have been eight. He might have been 18. I don't know. But he had his siblings with him, uh, and he was setting up the hooks, baby hooks, or baby fishing poles for these kids. And as I was exploring, because now the leaves are starting to grow. They've been growing pretty well, so it's gonna be great because now I know that nature is growing, and and that's gonna be very helpful uh, for me to survive in nature rather than being cold. And it was like what, 75 degrees Celsius. I mean Fahrenheit. So in Celsius, that would be what would it be like 40 or maybe 40 or 38 or something like that. Um, so it was nice and warm. It was absolutely nice and warm. And it was nice and breezy too, because uh, that's one thing you don't want when you're out there by yourself is is uh, or just out there in general, is to be in hot and humid weather. So um, yeah, I'm grateful for that. And then at nighttime, when once I set up my tent, um, I'll make sure I set everything up right. I'll make sure that, and my fishing is going to be starting in the morning, as early as possible, whenever the sun starts coming up. And I'm going to pick a lure. When I talked to this kid, I didn't ask his age or whatever. He said, I asked him if he's caught a fish anytime recently in this year, and he said no, but I did catch one. I did catch one last year, and he said it was a bass. And I was like, damn, I didn't know there was bass in this pond. I the only thing I've ever caught in the past in that pond was bluegill. And it was interesting because um, I tried to fish like 2 weeks ago or so, around 2 weeks ago, and I didn't catch a thing. So I don't know if it was my lure, or my bait that I was using, but I didn't catch a thing. So that's why I when I was walking around, I was seeing what it looked like, and I saw all the foraging. I saw the trees growing leaves, and and it looked beautiful. So and it's just gonna keep growing. And I did check out my tent. My tent is waterproof. Uh, my tent is waterproof, so I don't need to buy a tarp or anything, which I'm glad I didn't spend money on that. Um, with this laptop that I have that I'm using to go live, this is the only thing I can go live with. I guess you have to have a certain amount of subs to go live with your phone. Thank you for whoever's hitting all the smiles. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Um, so I'm just talking about my journey, and um, I still have somewhat long hair, so you can see my long. It's been growing. I'm gonna cut this all off. I'm gonna cut it all off. My beard, everything, because I want my head to breathe, and I won't even wear my hat or any hat. I have multiple amounts of hats, and especially well, only when it's well when I go to sleep, I might wear a different kind of hat if it gets cold, like a winter type of hat. Uh, but um, while I'm out in the day, I might wear a hat. Take a walk around. I'm not gonna have the luxury of going online. I'm not gonna call anybody. In fact, I'm gonna turn my phone off, and I'm gonna just experience what it's like not to have any digital devices. I think it's gonna be a shock at first, right? I know it's gonna be a shock because I haven't done that in quite some time. I don't even know when the last time I did that. So, we all in some way get used to our digital devices, uh, whether it's a phone or a laptop or going online. There might be days where I don't have that luxury, and I'll be living in my tent. And I've thought about this. I'm like, I'm gonna have to find a way to when I go to the bathroom, like number two, I'm gonna have to find leaves to wipe myself. You know, because I'm not gonna buy toilet paper. I'm not gonna have the luxuries of living indoors like I am right now. I'm gonna be living like I don't want to say it this way, but I will, I guess, to make a point of it. I'm not I'm I'm not gonna live. I'm going to be living sort of like a caveman, right? But I don't like to kill land animals for some reason. I have a thing about that. But I have fished in the past since I was a teenager, on and off, and so I can deal with that. And I did. I've shown my serrated knife. I've shown my axe that I bought. So I did buy things to help me um, make firewood, like a fire, cut firewood, chop firewood, and so I'll be surviving that way. And then, um, I mean, I bought a couple of barbecue lighters that came in a pair. It was for like $3 or something, $3 or $4. So that'll be easier for me to light up the fire, especially and the only time I'm gonna light a fire is if I'm cold or is after I catch a fish. Then I'm gonna light the fire and then I'm gonna start, you know, slicing that fish up. And I know how to do it without a pan because I watch. There's people in here. I think Happy Giorgio sent me a link of a survival man that knows how to do it. Somebody else, I don't know if it was Happy Giorgio or somebody. Maybe it was Dorian Gray. I'm not sure. I'm not going to name names unless uh, it's obvious to me. They sent me links on how to survive out there, and this guy he sharpened these sticks that were about 2 inches thick, or it could be less than that, and he just sharpened them like a pencil, like a pointy pencil, and he stuck them in the ground, and he put two of them, right, and then once he cut the belly open and took the guts out and everything. I don't want to gross you guys out, but that's what he did. And then he opened it up like a butterfly and put it on both of those sticks. And then after he got everything done, then he lit the fire. And it was a small cook, or a short, like it wasn't like a burning cook. It was like he did it, like it took time for that fish to cook. And then once it cooked, once it was finally done, um, he didn't use utensils. I think it appeared to be his kids. I don't know, but there was two small boys that came, and he served them with plates, right? And that's fine. I'm not going to be using plates. I'm just going to be using my hands. One of my hands is going to be my plate. And what they did was Lord Racer, how are you, brother? You're in California. I remember you telling me that. Lord Racer, hey Ricardo, the Earth was just moving here. We had a 4.5 earthquake. Wow. Yeah, man. Is everything all right, man? Is there any damage or anything like that? Because 4.5 is to nothing to blow over. That might be able to cause some damage. I know California has earthquakes every once in a while, or has had earthquakes. Even though I've wanted to live in California or go in that direction, so to speak, but I don't know. That's a long ways from where I'm at. I'm by Chicago. I'm in a suburb of Chicago. Yeah, it seems like here I didn't even feel it from operating a sit-down forklift. That's interesting, Lord Racer, because that's one of the main things that I've done, or my experiences in is in forklift driving. I know how to I know how to drive all kinds of different forklifts. Sit down propane, sit down electric, stand up reach, or just a regular stand up. Uh, Dock stacker, which is like stand up that loads trailers. Um, Electric pallet jacks. I mean, that's where most of my experience is in. Although, the purpose of what I'm doing is to not buy things from a store. It's to live off the land. But good for you. I hope all is well with you, Lord Racer. Oh, you're a shipping manager for a chemical company here. I have experience with all equipments you named. Oh, good for you. Good for you. Awesome. Yeah, I was a supervisor once, but I didn't like it because it was just the place that I worked at, where I was that a lot of I worked with a lot of young kids that didn't care, and it was hard to manage them. So maybe it's the manager that's the problem, and maybe I was the problem. So I decided to leave. So, but good for you. I'm happy for you, brother. So, do you see any earthquakes in the horizon over there, or is that something that just passed through? Just curious. If you don't know, that's all right. In fact, I'll look it up later. Um, I feel you when you say that the responsibility isn't even worth the pay, but it's expensive to live here. Yeah, I know. It's expensive. Yeah, I've heard California is expensive to. I mean, it's more expensive to live in California because um, there's another channel that I go to, and I'm not going to say the name because I'm not here to plug channels unless I truly want. If it's not an FE channel or a truther channel, then I'm not going to expose it. But this channel that I go to, he goes live, and I'll just say describe what he does. He does like he not videotapes, but shows on his live stream if there's a police catch through his police scanners, and then sometimes he just shows streams of other people that are filming, and they show the gas prices. Here right now, it's around $4 uh, a gallon. In Cali, I'm sure it's probably around 6 or 7. I mean, it's almost double. It's crazy. I mean, um, yeah, I know. And so I don't, but that's why I want to sort of, I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be walking. I'm trying to contemplate if I'm going to bring my bike because the bike would make it easier for me. Um, Wait, hold on. You're saying I think I played close to 6. paid. I think you meant paid $6 yesterday, put in $50, and I got 3/4 of a tank paid. Yeah. Yeah, I know, and that's how I know that with that stream that he's from California, and he shows the gas prices, and I'm like, geez, man, that's crazy. Or it's a big difference from here, from where I live to California. Then I've heard people in southern Illinois, the gas prices are a lot less. They're like 3.50 or something like that, $3.50. And then if you go to like southern countries that are sort of not populated very much, they pay maybe even less. So, and that's, but I'm not going to be driving, so I don't have to worry about that. You know, I'm going to be I'm trying to for now I'm going to walk. I'm going to walk to the first destination. I already know the exact location. I've been researching this stuff for over 2 weeks for this location, just this location. But yeah, I totally understand. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, and I'm glad. What's the weather out there anyway, Lord Racer? Because here it's right now. I think it's 75 degrees. It is 75 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's actually, I like this. I love this kind of weather, especially if it's breezy, because then you don't feel, if you're walking around, you don't feel the heat as much because the breeze kind of helps cool you off. So, oh, it's a little cooler over there. Wait, let me check my phone because usually my phone is a little bit more correct, but I turned my phone off. So, but my laptop is saying 75 degrees. So I'm not sure what that's all about. Usually Cali is a lot warmer than by where I'm at, by Chicago. So let's see what my phone says. Oops, that's not it. Let me go back here and let's see what it says. It's currently at 74 degrees, so very close. 74, 75 degrees, whatever. It's not a big deal. So yeah. Really, you're not far from the coast. See, I would love to live near, as long as, see, I've been to I haven't been to the Pacific Ocean. I mean, I've been to California once, right? And but I never went. Actually, I visited Long Beach for a little bit, so I don't know I think that's by the coast, right? But I never actually went at the coast where you actually you actually go into the beach and and see the ocean, right? That would be cool. I would love to do that someday before I die. So, yeah, Cali's a beautiful state, you know. And the cool thing is they have a lot of mountains, not mountains but forests. And if I ever get there, I'm gonna live in somewhere in a forest. Hopefully, there are no bears or dangerous animals in there if I get there. Around here, there's nothing like that. Um, the most you'll get is squirrels, maybe a raccoon, but raccoons, they just look for food. I've seen them go into dumpsters. Uh, I used to work at a restaurant, and I was throwing all the garbage away into the dumpster, and I saw a raccoon just walking around the dumpster looking for food, and I was like, I knew raccoons don't hurt humans. They just don't. They eat. I don't even know what they eat, but they don't eat humans unless they're trying to protect themselves. That's about it. I don't even know if they have fangs. But anyway, Yeah, I've been to North Carolina. I've been to South Carolina. I've been to a lot of states in America. Um, the only thing is I've never traveled overseas. So, which is I've always kind of wanted to do that, but too late now. I'm gonna be living here in the states for till the day I die. So whenever that is. And here's the other thing. I wanted to actually have now that I mentioned that I've never actually mentioned this on any of my live streams. Like I was talking to my parents, and um, one time this is some time ago. I don't even know when, years ago maybe. And I told them that because we were talking about death, right? And I said, well, if I die, I don't want a funeral. I mean, you can give me a funeral, but I don't want a tombstone, nothing. Just dig a hole, put my body in there, and bury me the way, put me back into the soil of the earth. I don't need to be, my body doesn't need to be protected. I just want my body to, I'm going to be dead. And, I feel like we all have a spirit, or we all have spirits. Like we're all spiritual, like internally. So whatever happens to my spirit, that's what happens, you know. So that's one thing I told him about. He said, "Yeah, when I lived in Mexico, that's what my father said. He said when I lived in Mexico, we used to we used to just whenever somebody died, we just used to dig a hole, pray for them as we're putting them in the hole and burying them, and we would put a cross as their tombstone, so to speak, and then we would just pray for them as their death, and that was it. It was simple. That's what I want when I die. I just want it simple. So uh, I don't know. It might seem strange to people. They might want people to have a tombstone to remember people to remember them. People remember me for the good, the bad, or whatever, however they want to put it. Done a lot of great things in my life. Um, and I've inspired a lot of people with different things that I've done. So how they remember me is how they remember me. That's it's not. I can't. I'm not going to convince anybody to like me, right? It's just that's the way it's going to be. So yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna. It looks like for me, it looks like today's the May 1st. Here, and I'm thinking um tomorrow or the next day I'm probably gonna start it. So I'm gonna make sure I drink a lot of water, a lot of energy, like orange juice, and I'm gonna start with like fruits and some vegetables, and then and one thing, if you don't know, Lord Racer, I fasted for 2 days, and I actually did it for a day again this past week. So when I was out there yesterday, it was actually kind of hard to walk around as fast as I wanted to because I was starting to lose my breath, my air, and it was but it's a good learning lesson for me because then um, then I it tells me that I need to have make sure I have energy to be walking out there to do the things that I need to do to survive. So um, that's why I think I'm probably going to wait till maybe May 3rd or maybe 4th. I'm not sure. Make sure I get my energy really well. And like I said, I'm gonna cut all my hair. See, it looks shaggy, right? It looks horrible. I'm gonna cut all my hair and uh, just survival mode, man. And the I thought about this earlier. The biggest thing, one of the biggest things that I thought it was like I might not have anybody to interact with. So that's going to be kind of a big thing for me because I like interacting with people. So I'm going to have to learn how to deal with that. And again, I'm not going to have any electrical. My phone is not. I'm not going to call anybody. Um, I want to. I want to. I want to do it like it truly is in survival mode. No electrical devices. You live off the land. That simple. So yeah, so I got all my equipment ready and everything. So and my mindset is ready, which is the most important thing. And then go from there. I'm not. And again, the other thing I wanted to say was that after I start this, truly start it, which is to me right now is it's going to be a starting point. But when I truly go off grid, I'm not going to be doing live streams very often. I have no idea. I'm not even going to say when or how. I'm going to be walking and traveling and setting up my tent, unsetting it up, packing everything up, and then walking and moving, and then going to another location, and then resetting everything back up. And that takes time, and it takes hours. I've done that before when I've camped out and fished. But the other thing is I did use my bike to travel to the location. So yeah, so I can't, honestly, I can't wait, but actually I'm scared a little bit. So it's just, that's part of life. I mean, we all go through fearful things, and this is one of them that I'm going to be going through, because this is real life now. This is not like, this is not for fun. I'm going to go back home and go to this nice warm place, or this nice enclosed place, right? So anyway, well, Lord Racer, thank you for joining. Did you? Let's see. You must still be at work. I don't know if you're still in the stream or not. You're 2 hours behind me, so to speak. You're in the Pacific time, which is it's 4:33 here p.m. It must be 2:33 p.m. your time. So yeah. So if you're still if you're at work, then hey man, I hope you have a great day at work. So I'll always enjoy when you come in. So I don't know if David Banner's still going live, but I couldn't stay in there because it's just I keep getting timed out. So I'm not gonna deal with that anymore. In fact, I might have to unsubscribe that channel, because I'm not gonna keep going in there and getting timed out because somebody's angry at me. I did okay. The other thing, now that I'm talking about that, I did apologize to Melody Z. So she made a comment on one of my on the channel that I posted, and said that, well, why don't you post a picture of the pinned comment that I made? And she's right, I don't have it. My ex-girlfriend Pinky never showed it to me. So I took Pinky Twinky's word for it and went after Melody Z. And when she made that comment, I was like, damn, I never thought of it that way. So she was right, and I replied to her and I said, I'm sorry. Then I apologize. You're right. I told her, you're right. I apologize. So Melody Z, if you want to come back in here, you're welcome. We all adore you. We all think you're a wonderful person. So just putting it out on the record. I tried to talk to Music World, but he kept timing me out. As soon as he saw my name, he just timed me out immediately. Even David Banner was trying to tell him, "Hey, he apologized to Melody Z, so it's cool." He's like, "No, he didn't," and he just was, man. He's really mad at me, and I guess he's gonna post a video. So watch out for it if you want to watch it. I'm gonna be doing my survival mode, so I don't even care. He can bash me all he wants. I'm going through my own journey. So if your journey is now to bash people, to bash me, go right ahead. Doesn't bother me. But I'm explicitly telling everyone I'm apologizing to Melody Z. I'm sorry for accusing you and treating you that way. So if you don't accept my apology, okay, well, I can understand. It's okay. So let's see what else. Okay, so tomorrow morning, I'm going to start packing everything, making sure I have everything in my backpack, and I have my sleeping bag. I have some extra clothes that I bought or that I have. I didn't buy any extra clothes. I already have so much. Uh, and and I'm gonna, again, I have my serrated knife. I have my axe. I have all my lures that I have. Um, and let's see. I have a can opener. Um, I have scissors. I have scissors as well, so I can cut my fishing line and rehook it to another lure if I wanted to. I did hear from that kid that I talked to, the 18-year-old, that that he said, I asked him if he caught a fish. Has he caught a fish here in this year? And and he said no, not this year, but I did catch a bass last year. And I was like, cool. Oh, I never caught a bass in this pond before. And he said, yeah, there's actually a bass that actually nests right over in that little cove over there. And I was like, oh, and he's like, and that's a good sized fish. And I was like, oh, really? How big is the fish that you see? And he said it was something like, it looked like he said it was around 10 or 12 inches. So I was like, wow, I've never caught a fish that big in that pond. I've caught a big fish in bigger lakes. And I know what lake to go to catch a big fish. Oh, the other thing I was going to do was um, I am going to buy one more thing. I'm going to buy some large Ziploc bags. And then I'm going to put all that without the box. I'm going to roll them up, put them all in my backpack. And I'm going to, when I catch a fish, or let's say I catch two fish, then I'm going to put one fish in the plastic bag, Ziploc it so that it stays fresh, so it doesn't get eaten by the environment or by another animal, so to speak. So, so I'm gonna have that, um, or in case I catch a fish and I'm not really hungry just yet, or I can set everything up to start a fire and cook the fish, cut it up and everything, um, and then um, and then I can, if I don't finish it all, I can put it back into the Ziploc bag, and then save it that way. So yeah. So yeah, I did like David Banner's stream. I don't know if it's still going on, but I'm not gonna go back in there because Brendan's gonna keep timing me out, or music realm. People call him Brendan. I'm gonna call him music realm. He can be my friend, but he doesn't. He hates me now, so there's nothing I can do about that. Even Banner tried to tell him. He apologized to Melody Z. I just did it on my live stream. So I don't know. There's nothing I can do now. Uh, So anyway, I'm gonna focus on myself. So I'm looking at around, and I have like um, I have things a little bit scattered right now, but it's gonna be cool once I get started uh, soon. So yeah. So let's see what other topic I can think about. Um, um, let's see, I'm trying to think here. I'm trying to see something else here. Okay, so actually, I'm gonna go ahead and end the live stream. I think maybe whenever I decide to actually go out and start it, I'm gonna do a live stream right before I do it. It'll probably be in the morning because that's when my journey. I want to start my journey. I want to start my journey first thing in the morning, right when the sun comes up, right when the sun is coming up. So my time, it'll probably be 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m., something like that. And then I'll start walking to the pond. Um, and then I know I already have the location that I'm going to pick. It's nice and secluded. And I'm gonna have to use my hands and use my energy to take branches out to clear an area for my tent to be set up. And then once I have it set up, I'm gonna go ahead and put my all my things in there, my sleeping bag and everything. Set that up, um, and then I'm gonna, I have to re hook my line for my fishing pole, and because I want to change the lure, so I'm gonna have to keep trying different lures in order to catch something. So um, I'm not gonna really be taking videos of it because I don't. I just want to focus on what I'm doing. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be cool. So anyway, thank you, Lord Racer. I don't know if you're still in the house. Thank you for coming in. Whoever watched for a bit, I saw 2 or 3 people come in. So I know David Banner's still on. So I'm gonna end the live stream. I just wanted to talk about that my own journey for a little bit. That's what I'm gonna be focusing on. I'm not gonna be focusing on drama, what's going on other people's channels, even my channel. I'm focusing on myself and my own journey. So that's how I'm going to end the live stream. Take care, Lord Racer. Take care, everyone else who watches the stream. Thank you so much. Bye.